So, I'm waiting. For those of you who don't know Bryan too, in my opinion, he is one of the most creditable people out there.
Go ahead and
tell us about
email.
Okay, it's not here yet, Bryan.
I'll just start talking.
There it is. It just came.
Let's go over that, okay? So we can help people defeat the technology.
Okay.
All right. The top of that email, what I'm going to do is get you to read each paragraph, and then we'll go back over it and talk about it.
Okay. I'm going to start from the top. There are 2 reasons for the effect of pleasing Christian music to interfere with torture and mind control.
Yeah, my ears are really badly damaged, so everything's very distorted. But we can go by the email, I can understand you. Okay, keep going.
1. The AI responds to the emotional state of the target as thought-triggered attacks. 2. The sensory lock-on is jolted because of the focus of attention to the music.
Okay, stop. Jostle. The sensory lock-on is jostled because of the focus of attention to the music. That's number 2. Number 1, the AI responds to the emotional state of the target as thought-triggered attacks. Okay, that was the email that Dr. Robert Duncan sent me when I was in Hong Kong. He was explaining how Christian music defeats their technology. Okay, so 1, the AI, the exascale system of remote neural networks, all right, responds to the emotional state of the target. The supercomputer locks on to your emotional state. Remote neural monitoring is formulations. First stage of remote neural monitoring is called formulation. That's the collection and cataloging of data regarding your memory, your emotion, your thoughts, your brain waves. It's called formulation. I'm getting a ding, ding, ding every 20 seconds. What is that?
That is new callers joining the call, Bryan.
So what's happening is the supercomputer is locked on to your emotional state. Using your brainwave signature, the system has locked on to it's called formulation. Again, the collection and cataloging of data regarding your brainwaves, memory, thoughts, sensations, etc. Okay? It's called formulation. Anything which interferes with that, they have to stop or minimize. Anything which disrupts or dampens that neural link between the supercomputer, the AI, and your brain, anything which disrupts or dampens that link, they have to stop or minimize. Okay, that's called censorship. Okay. So, number 2, the sensory lock-on is jostled because of the focus of attention to the music. We'll get there in just a second. Read the next paragraph.
Christian music defeats mind control by adding noise to the incoming, outgoing information and injection feedback loop. It temporarily... Okay.
That information and injection feedback loop is what I meant when I said it's a stream of energy. It's not a beam. It's a stream. Okay? A continuous 24-hour stream of energy. The supercomputer is illuminating your brain with a stream of photons. And then it's reading the return training signal. So it's reading all your brain waves. Okay, that's what I mean. That's what I mean when I say return training signal. Okay, that's the information and injection feedback loop. It is not a beam of anything. It is a stream, a continuous, never-ending, 24-hour stream of energy. The supercomputer, the AI, is illuminating your brain with a stream of photons, and then reading the return training signal, reading your brain waves. Go ahead.
It temporarily alters the brainwave signature of the victim. and being doing so, defeating their technology, which is dependent upon that brainwave signature remaining consistent. Okay, so it's depending on your brainwave signature to stay consistent. Okay. It also creates all of this additional electromagnetic energy inside the neural pathways of the victim's brain, making it impossible for the RNM supercomputer and the hive mind team to make sense of what they see on their visual interface.
Virtual.
Virtual.
Go ahead.
It also breaks brain entrainment with their system by entraining the brain away from the visual and verbal entrainments of the RNM supercomputer to the pleasing music that disrupting their technology. Okay,
we'll go back over that. Okay, so we know what the information and injection feedback loop is. It's a stream of energy, a bidirectional stream. Okay, and you come down here, and it also creates all this additional electromagnetic energy inside the neural pathways of the victim's brain. What scientists have discovered about pleasing music is that it just lights up just about every area of your brain. It creates all of this additional electromagnetic energy inside the neural pathways of your brain, of your mind. It lights up every region, just about. That creates chaos in their technology, because for their technology to work properly, the supercomputer needs to be able to read coherent patterns of thought. And when you've got neurons popping off in every direction, in every region of your mind, it basically drowns out the signal. It drowns out the pattern the system is looking for. Okay? You've got all these different patterns of brainwaves going every which way but loose. The system can no longer determine which pattern is coherent, and then download that coherent pattern back into its database as it builds a cognitive model of your brain, your will, intellect, and emotion. So one of the ways the pleasing music, Christian music, is defeating their technology is it just lights up your brain with all of this energy. So the system can no longer determine which pattern is correct, because there are patterns everywhere. All the neural pathways are lighting up. Okay?
Sounds good.
It also creates, so that's what I mean when I say it also creates this additional electromagnetic energy inside the neural pathways of your brain. You need to use headphones. If you're not using headphones, you're wasting your time. The headphones are crucial because you need to overpower these visual and verbal entrainments, these visual and verbal sequences. Okay? The system is maintaining a conversation. The supercomputer, the AI system, is maintaining a conversation with your mind at the subconscious level. That's how it stays locked on to your emotional state.
I believe that 100%. That's exactly what it does.
Okay, so it also breaks brain entrainment with their system by entraining the brain away from the visual and verbal entrainments of the RNN supercomputer to the pleasing music. Okay, I just said that's what's happening. The music, if you go back up to number 2 that you just read, the sensory lock-on is jostled because of the focus of attention to the music. What's happening is the music becomes the dominant external stimulus, and it entrains your brain away from the supercomputer, this neural link between the supercomputer and your mind. That supercomputer, that neural link between the system and your mind, is no longer the visual and verbal entrainments, these visual and verbal sequences the system is injecting into your mind 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, maintaining a conversation with your brain. It's no longer dominant. The music has become dominant. It has become the dominant external stimulus. So right. It overpowers those visual and verbal entrainments. So, based on the paragraph you just read, the information and injection feedback loop is incoming, outgoing, meaning it's bidirectional. It's It's a stream of energy. It's a stream the supercomputer is using of ELF waves to illumine your brain with photons, and then it reads the return training signal. Okay? The additional electromagnetic energy lighting up just about every area of your brain makes it almost impossible for the supercomputer, the AI system, or the hive mind teams to make sense of what they see. There's no coherent pattern because the patterns are popping off in every which way, in every direction. The system is lighting up not just coherent patterns of thought, but other regions. It's creating all these additional patterns. The system cannot determine what is coherent and what is not. For that response, for whatever response it's trying to measure, whether it's love, lust, fear, guilt, remorse, regret, whatever, whether it's the memory of something that happened yesterday that you just had or the memory of something that happened 20 years ago, the supercomputer can't read it because there's no coherent pattern. The neural pathways of your brain are being lit up by the music. It's creating all this additional energy inside your mind. It's blocking the system's ability to literally blocking the AI supercomputer's ability to read your mind.
I believe
Next paragraph.
Okay. When I say noise, I do not mean sound. Rather, I mean energy.
Stop. Okay, so it creates all this additional noise inside the neural pathways of your brain. What I mean is energy. Okay, go ahead. Noise is energy. Okay, go ahead.
Rather, I mean energy. Electromagnetic energy, and it effectively jams the fabricated, falsified stream of data inside the neural network of your brain.
Right, okay. So when I say noise, the music creates all this additional noise. That's a bad word. Okay, it's a good word if you understand the technology, but if you don't, it's a bad word. When I say noise, I mean energy, not sound. Okay, so the electromagnetic energy that the supercomputer is creating all this additional energy inside your brain with the music. Okay, and it's jamming that incoming, outgoing injection feedback loop, that stream of energy. So the fabricated and falsified stream of data is no longer readable. The neural networks of your brain are lit up in just about every area of your brain. There's no longer a single coherent pattern of thought for the supercomputer to remotely measure. You understand?
I do, in full. I just want to take a second, Brian, to tell those of the people that are on the call right now that this call is being recorded, and what I am reading is an email that Robert Duncan sent to Brian 2, and now Brian 2 is explaining it.
He sent the top part. Okay, I did the rest. He sent the top part, and I just basically did a little research and filled out the rest based on information that I gleaned. So the top part of that email, 1 and 2, that's done. Okay?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, are you ready for me to read?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. What I mean is the CIA, DOD operatives need coherent thought patterns from you for the perps to establish integration back into RNM data, or their mind control technology fails.
Right, okay, stop. Anything which hinders integration completion between your brain and that supercomputer, meaning the neural link, anything which hinders that, okay, has to be stopped, has to be minimized, okay? Because the system can no longer read your responses, your emotional responses, your will, your intellect, your emotion, okay? So there's no coherent pattern left for the supercomputer to remotely measure. All this additional energy inside your brain is creating additional patterns.
So you're virtually jamming their supercomputer, right?
Right. Now, you're jamming this, not the supercomputer, you're jamming the stream of energy. You're jamming the ability of the supercomputer to illuminate your brain and read the return training signal.
Right.
It's called mental shielding. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. However, with electromagnetic emissions popping up all over their screen, they cannot achieve integration completion between the brain and their RNM system, supercomputer, and their technology fails. They cannot make sense of what they see.
Right. Remember, they're using augmented reality. They daydream. They force hallucinate. And these forced hallucinations, these daydreams, allow them to pull up all these images, objects, text, data. That's EEG heterodyning through the brain-to-brain interface. The EEG heterodyning through the brain-to-computer interface is the AI. Okay? So, with all these additional electromagnetic emissions popping up all over their augmented reality, I shouldn't have said screen, that's a bad word. The supercomputer cannot achieve integration completion between your brain and the system. Okay? The pleasing music has basically entrained your brain away from the supercomputer. It has become the dominant external stimulus. The visual, the stream of energy illuminating your brain is no longer dominant. It's no longer the dominant external stimulus. It's been overpowered by the music.
It all makes sense to me. It really does. It makes perfect sense.
Are you posting these recordings? Are you putting them on the internet for people to help people? Are you doing that?
Yeah, I actually put your last recording on my group as well. And then you posted in the group right after I recorded your last recording, or posted your last recording. So I'm going to be posting these to YouTube and to Rumble and to TikTok as well.
All right, send me the link when you do, okay?
I sure will.
Go ahead. Next paragraph.
Okay, actually, I will be posting those tomorrow, so I'll be sending you the link tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to read. This is because their mind control technology is speed of light, biodirectional, and because injection feedback fails, the process of verification fails. With it and the thought-triggered attacks cannot follow the narrative of the victim's thought and memory process, meaning there are no evoked potentials to verify because the handler operator cannot make sense of what they see on his display.
Okay. You notice as soon as I got on the phone and started talking, all of a sudden you had people logging on to the call. Ding, 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 beep, beep, beep. Remember?
Yeah.
Those are chatterbots.
Okay.
Those are not people. Those are not real people. Those are chatterbots. Those are automated AI, special language software programs. They're not real people at all. The system, the AI supercomputer, is injecting into the call to remotely measure my brainwaves as I speak to you. It's using fake accounts to do that. Okay?
Okay.
Those are not real people. All right? You notice, as soon as I got on the call, it was all this ding, 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 all this activity. That's the supercomputer registering my voice on the call and injecting immediately with chatterbots. AI, special language software programs. All right.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to read the paragraph. This is because their mind control technology is speed of light, bidirectional, and because because injection feedback fails, the process of verification fails. Okay, listen. Speed of light. Thought-triggered attacks are speed of light. Okay, energy travels at speed of light. Okay, so as soon as the system, the RNN system, the supercomputer, the AI, as soon as that artificial intelligence recognizes whatever brainwaves you're thinking about, remember, it's verified them already. It knows where you're going. As soon as it recognizes those brainwaves, it begins to inject with artificial brainwaves. Those are called thought-triggered attacks. That's what I mean by fabricated or falsified. A fabricated memory, a falsified memory is a psychological phenomenon a person has where they remember an event or topic which never happened. That's falsified. A fabricated memory is a psychological phenomenon a person has where they remember an event or topic which did happen, but which occurred differently than the way they recall it to have happened. That's fabricated. And what it's doing is it's injecting with fabricated or falsified memories at speed of light. As soon as the system recognizes your brainwaves, it attacks. Remember I told you I was driving down the road the other day, and all the places that I've ever stopped at for breakfast or for coffee or for gas or for convenience food store, all those places, the supercomputer was injecting the memory of those. Remember I told you?
Yeah, I remember.
Thought triggered attacks. So I'm a mile down the road. I'm a mile away from those convenience food stores. I'm a mile away from those gas stations. I'm a mile away from those restaurants and cafes. Okay, and the supercomputer's already injecting the speed of light with my previous memory, which it copied of those restaurants. And as I pass those restaurants, it injects with the next memory, the convenience food store. As I pass the convenience food store, it injects with the next memory. The supercomputer is copying all of your brain waves, and then after it verifies them, it's injecting them back into your subconscious. It was your memory. It was your emotion. It's no longer your memory. It's no longer your emotion. It belongs to the computer. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about injection feedback.
Right.
The information injection feedback loop. The information and injection feedback loop is that stream of energy. Okay?
No, this all makes perfect sense. It really does. Keep going.
Thought triggered attacks, whether it's work, whether it's play. Me going on the road is just an example. Whether it's, school, whatever it is, whatever previous memories, whether it's Coca-Cola, doesn't matter to the supercomputer. All that matters is it's able to deceive and manipulate you. So every 5 minutes, every 30, 60, 90 seconds, it will inject the memory of a Coca-Cola. They don't care anything about Coca-Cola. What they care about is their technology. You understand? That's a thought-triggered attack. So you have a confrontation with an organized stalker on the street. Okay? The supercomputer, those are also mind control victims, but they'll never be told that. They'll just be destroyed when it's over. They'll be the first destroyed. You can't tell them they're victims. They'll just laugh at you. They don't understand the technology. They're also mind control victims. Have to be for verification. I'll explain verification shortly. Okay? But understand the information and injection feedback loop. It's a stream of energy. It's bidirectional.
It's a stream of radiation, actually, isn't it? It's
photons. Well, okay, but it's photons. Okay, it's just ELF waves. It's photons. It's lighting up your brain. Okay, so thought-triggered attacks are speed of light. Okay? And as the process of verification fails, let me explain verification. Anything which hinders integration completion between the supercomputer and your brain, anything which disrupts or dampens that link, the supercomputer has to stop or minimize. I said that already 3 times. Okay? If the supercomputer can do that, it can maintain integration completion with your brain. That has to happen every cycle of remote neural monitoring. There has to be integration completion. They have to it's not enough that they think it's working. They have to prove that it's working. The system is designed to force you to respond, to provoke you into a response, so it can measure those brain waves.
Right.
To achieve integration completion. Well, anything which interferes with that, hinders that integration completion between your brain and the supercomputer, the AI, okay? Meaning the system can no longer read that response, okay? Meaning without your response to whatever stimuli they're using, whatever conversational or situational scenario that may be that they're using to provoke you, without your response to that, then integration completion between the supercomputer and your brain is hindered, and without your response to that specific stimuli, the verification process fails. The verification process breaks apart, and mind control fails. Every response of the victim must be verified. Okay? It's not enough the system provoked you one time. It's not enough the organized stalkers provoked you one time. They have to continue to provoke you until they can determine, through enough responses called response statistics, a single coherent pattern of thought for that emotion, for that memory.
So that way when they decide to set you up or something, they already know the way you're going to react because they've already mapped out your thought process, correct?
The supercomputer is mapping out your will, intellect, and emotion. It's creating a copycat a copycat parallel twin personality, okay, inside its database to destroy you. We'll get there. Okay, so the supercomputer, so that fails, okay? So the handler of the operator cannot make sense of what they see on their augmented reality. It's not a display, it's augmented reality. Okay, next paragraph.
Okay. Hold on, I want to make sure I'm not in the wrong place here.
In other words?
Okay, this is being their mind control technology is speed of light. Biodirectional.
No, next paragraph.
Oh, the next one, I'm sorry. In other words, integration completion between the RNM system and your brain is hindered, and without your response to that specific impulse injection, the RNM verification process breaks apart, the mind control fails.
Right. Okay. So I just explained that. Okay.
Yes.
The system needs to, they not only need to force you to respond, the system needs to determine, the system needs to be able to remotely measure that response, those brain waves. Okay?
That's why they use gang-stalking, and they do things over and over and over to us with these people, because they want to get the reaction response over and over and over, correct?
Right. So they'll come inside your home and they'll steal something. And then as soon as you notice that it's stolen, they'll come back in and put it back. And then as soon as you know that it's been put back, they'll come back in and steal it again. Over and over in a looping pattern. You see?
I do.
Gaslight. Designed to force you into responses. Response statistics to determine coherent patterns of thought. Okay, next paragraph. Just skip that. Skip that. Go to the next paragraph.
It's not the headphones, but the cognitive effects of the headphones that defeat the CIA, DIA mind control technologies. Positive hypnosis through bone conduction, headphones grounding.
Okay, now, just forget. You should use bone conduction headphones when you can't listen to music. You should, like when you're at work or when you're driving. But you should not listen to bone conduction headphones if you don't have to. You should use regular headphones. It's a cheap pair of headphones you buy at Best Buy. Okay, but you have to use headphones in order to defeat their technology. For the music to become the dominant external stimulus, you have to use headphones. Positive hypnosis. Basically, that's what the music is doing. It's hypnotizing you. Every time you listen to music, it places you into a state of hypnosis. People don't realize this, okay? It's very powerful, extremely powerful, okay?
Yes, sir.
So training your mind. So what you're doing is the music is not only breaking brain entrainment with the AI, the AI system. It's also drowning out the street theater around you. They can't provoke you if you can't hear them. And even if they can provoke you, even if they can step into your visual field, they can no longer step into your audible field because you can't hear them. But even if they can step into your visual field, it doesn't matter if they provoke you because the supercomputer still can't read it. So they do something to scare you. The supercomputer can't read that response. It can't read those brainwaves of fear because the pleasing music is lighting up just about every area of your brain with energy. You see?
I do.
No coherent pattern. Okay. Okay, so you need to get headphones. Okay, go ahead. Next, go to store. Yeah. Next paragraph.
Okay. Training your mind is not responsible.
No. Go to next paragraph. Go to store.
Go to store and buy bone conduction headphones.
This is an old one I sent you. I didn't realize I had that in there. Just say headphones. Forget bone conduction. You should have a cheap pair of bone conduction headphones that you can wear when you can't listen to music. But that's not going to drown out the street theater because they can still capture your attention by entering your audible or visual field. So it works best with just regular headphones. Okay, but get a cheap pair of bone conduction headphones when you can't listen to pleasing music because you have to work or drive or whatever. But in other words, you just need to keep listening to headphones, regular headphones, as much as you can. Okay. This allows you to listen to music. Okay. Get down to the next paragraph. The music defeats torture mind control.
The music defeats torture mind control technologies by immediately jostling the intersectors.
Indicators, the emotion indicators. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I'm dyslexic. I'm doing the best I can.
Oh, okay, I know. I'm going to go back over it.
Okay. Indicators, the RNM system uses the lock onto the emotional state of the victim. Okay,
so the music defeats torture mind control. It disrupts. It takes about 180 days to defeat. Okay, permanently defeat. But immediately it disrupts torture mind control technologies by jostling the emotional indicators the system relies upon when it locks onto an emotional state. Go ahead.
So virtually what you're telling me is we can get instant relief immediately by listening to this music, but ultimately we can overcome mind control and retrain our brain in 180 days.
Right. Well, you can permanently alter your brainwave pattern within 180 days. Yeah, 6 months, and they got to start all. The supercomputer has to start all over again at that point. But hold on just a second. Okay, so what I'm saying is, yeah, the minute you break brain entrainment with a supercomputer, you're going to experience a quieting of the mind, a quieting of your mind. The supercomputer can't keep injecting artificial brain waves. Okay, it can't keep capturing your attention with these fabricated and falsified brain waves. You've just broken brain entrainment with the supercomputer. That's how powerful that music is. Okay?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. It creates additional electromagnetic conditions. Next sentence.
Okay. It creates additional it creates additional electromagnetic emissions inside the neural pathways of the victim's brain, making it impossible for the RNM system or hive mind teams to identify, develop, and integrate your responses back into the RNM data.
Right, okay. So it creates all this additional electromagnetic energy inside the neural pathways of your brain. That's what the music does. Okay, it makes it very difficult for the RNM supercomputer, the AI system, or the cognitive researchers, okay, whatever it is they're doing at that moment, to identify, develop, and integrate your brainwaves back into RNM data. There's no coherent pattern. Okay, next paragraph.
The music immediately creates a dominant external stimulus and entrains the victim's brain away from the visual and verbal entrainment of the RNM system. It also temporarily alters your brain waves and on less than 180 days will permanently alter the victim's brain waves.
Right. In other words, their cognitive model will be shot within about 6 months, 180 days. Okay, just constantly listening to music. So the music immediately creates a dominant external stimulus. You ever notice when you put headphones on, you start listening to music, that becomes your focus of attention, the lyrics of that song. There's other things going on around you, but that's secondary and tertiary to what's happening. You're actually thinking about the song. Your focus of attention is on the lyrics of that song.
Yes.
It has become the dominant external stimulus.
No doubt about it. I get into it so much I'm singing along. Then I know for sure it's the dominant.
Yeah. And it basically entrains your brain away from these visual and verbal entrainments of the supercomputer. Remember, I told you, the supercomputer is using visual and verbal sequences to keep, at the subconscious level, it's maintaining a conversation with your mind, with all these images, with all these sounds, these phrases. Okay, it's constant talking, maintaining a conversation with your brain at the subconscious level. That's how it keeps your brain entrained to the system. That's how integration completion is achieved. The music disrupts that because it breaks brain entrainment.
This information is priceless. It really is.
Dr. Duncan told me that within 180 days of just constantly listening to pleasing music each day, within 6 months, that music will permanently alter your brainwave signature, your brainwave patterns, and permanently defeat their technology. Now, they're not going to stop attacking you. They still attack with directed energy. And once you alter your brainwave patterns with the music, the system's just going to start all over again. It's not going to stop attacking you. It's not going to stop building a cognitive model of your brain inside its database. By cognitive model, I mean copycat, parallel twin personality. Okay, it's still going to do that. Okay, and once that model is complete, you're doomed. You're doomed. Okay? It gets real bad after that. Okay? So, you either know God or you don't know God. Based on my understanding of the technology and the Bible, when that cognitive model is complete, you either know God or you don't know Him. And if you don't know Him, my understanding of the technology leads me to tell you, you will never know Him. It's over. It's all over now. Okay? So it's that serious. It's that serious. Targeting your human soul. What is the human soul? The will, the intellect, and emotion. In simple terminology, that's what it is. In simple terminology, the body is the five senses: sight, touch, taste, hearing, smell. That's the body. The soul is the will, intellect, and emotion. The spirit is the conscience. Okay? That's what they're targeting. They're targeting the human soul. Will, intellect, and emotion. The supercomputer disrupts their ability to do that. The pleasing music, the music disrupts their ability to do that. Okay, go ahead. Next paragraph.
It says, don't buy cheap bone conduction headphones. Get a pair which is sweat-proof, waterproof, etc. You can purchase them at Best Buy, Walmart, or electronic stores for about $60. Don't order them off Amazon because the shadow government contractors will destroy or disable them in the mail. That makes sense.
Yeah, I think I bought about 50 pairs of headphones, and they were constantly coming in and tearing them up a little bit at a time. Again, hyper game theory, keep provoking me, gaslighting me. Like the cameras. I kept taking their picture with a camera. They destroyed 27 handheld cameras. They don't care anything about a camera. They don't care anything about your video. It's a game for them. It's a game. Yeah. Hyper game theory. It's non-cooperative gaming theory. You know, people say, you just take their picture. And when you aim a camera at them, they'll immediately look away. They want you to play. They want to play the game. They want to play the game. They want you to play along. They want you to keep aiming that camera at them and keep taking that picture over and over again because you're discredited that way. And at the same time you keep taking a picture, the supercomputer keeps measuring those brain waves. You see?
Yeah.
What they have to do is they have to keep you playing the game. If you just ignore them and walk away, the technology fails. It's disrupted. Okay? You have to play along. You have to play the game. So they'll, as soon as you aim a camera at, whatever they're doing, I'm just using a camera as an example. They're going to act like, oh no, you got a camera. Oh no, look away. They don't care about your camera. It's a game. Same with the headphones. They'll tear them up. It's just a game. So don't go spend a lot of money on those headphones. But you need headphones, or you're wasting your time. Next paragraph.
It also temporarily alters the victim's brainwave signature, which trauma-based mind control technologies are dependent on. Let me keep reading. Music, enjoyment, excellence, elicits dopamine release in dopamine release has been tied to motivation, increased exercise, which in turn is implicated in learning and memory. So long-term listening to pleasing music actually increases memory function and thought process.
Right. So scientists have determined that all these additional positive effects on your brain by just listening to pleasing music. It creates additional dopamine, giving you a sense of peace, okay, serenity, okay. It does. It helps to motivate, right? It helps to motivate you. Remember, I told you it lights up just about every area of your brain. For increased exercise, to help in learning and memory. So it's very important. There are many other positive effects to listening to music other than defeating mind control. Okay, next question. Next paragraph.
Listening to pleasing music long-term also permanently alters the brainwave frequency, brainwave signature of the mind control victim and breaks the brain entrainment with their RNM system, thereby stopping mind control altogether. -8 process, which takes about 6 months of regularly listening to music each day.
Yeah, so this is an old article that I wrote. I need to update it. Okay, yeah. So the music will, over a period of 180 days, sometimes less than that, okay, alter your brainwave patterns. But the system depends on the cognitive model for it, okay? Within 180 days, it will defeat their technology now, and they're not going to stop. The system is not designed to stop. It's just going to keep on. But you just destroyed about, you just destroyed years of research, years of creating a cognitive model of your brain. All those brainwaves, the cognitive model in their database, all that shot. Now the system is going to start all.
It probably took them 20 years to upload my brain. So if I break it, that just screwed them over 20 years.
Okay, so the last paragraph.
Finally, even the Bible states listening to pleasing music is extremely powerful. One essay, 1 Samuel 16:23 states, and it came to pass when the evil spirit from God was upon Samuel that David took. Okay, one was upon Saul that David took a harp and played with his hand. So Saul was refreshed and was well, and the evil spirit departed.
Right. The Bible says that Bible even states that pleasing music is extremely powerful. Okay, because 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 23 states, and it came to pass when the evil spirit from God, now that's a bad translation in the English, but that's what it says, okay, was upon King Saul, that David took a harp and began to play music with his hand and sing, okay? And so King Saul was refreshed, and the evil spirit departed immediately. That's how powerful pleasing music is. Even the Bible states it's that powerful. The music hypnotizes you, places you in a different. Okay, so it needs to be Christian music. Their technology depends on three things: neuroscience, psychology, and satanic ritual abuse. Neuroscience, psychology, and satanic ritual abuse. If any one of those three fail, their technology fails. Well, we don't have access to the hardware and the software. So we can't, neuroscience and psychology, that's no good to us. But we can defeat the satanic ritual abuse. We can't defeat the neuroscience and the psychology because we don't have access to the technology. But we can defeat the satanic ritual abuse. How? Christian music. Contemporary Christian music. It depatterns. It deconstructs the neuroprogram. The system is constantly trying to drive your memory and thought process to rewire, to repattern your memory and thought process, turn you into a serial killer or whatever. They want to see what they can do. They want to turn a homosexual into a heterosexual, or vice versa. They want to turn a heterosexual into a homosexual, a Muslim into a Jew, an atheist into a priest. They want to see a peaceful person into a violent person. They want to see what can they do. Okay, they want to create the most demented mind model and deranged psychopathology possible in the victim. That's how you create all these shooters go around killing people. the most demented mind model and deranged psychopathology possible. Christian music deconstructs, depatterns all of that. Okay?
It virtually makes sense, Brian, because listening to music steady like that is bound to put a person in a calm state of mind in the first place. So I think that this method that you're describing really would work, in my opinion.
Yeah, it will. Dr. Duncan said it will work. Not Brian did. Dr. Robert Duncan said it will work.
Right.
Yeah, so it doesn't work. Listen, they destroyed my hearing. They not only destroyed my hearing, they kicked me out of church today. I got kicked out of Times Square Church. That's another story. They've done that in many churches. But, that was today. But, what am I saying? I'm saying that the faith and belief system of the victim, of the targeted individual, is an important metric in their training, research, and development. Okay? So they target you in church. They don't want you building support networks. They don't want anything that's going to disrupt their technology. They go after you in church. Okay?
Yep.
Christian music not only depatterns, it deconstructs the satanic ritual abuse. Remember, neuroscience, psychology, satanic ritual abuse. Everything they're doing. It's everything. Basically, it's censorship, cognitive containment, memory management, blocking real memories and emotions, and injecting with fabricated or falsified memories and emotions, artificial brainwaves, and direct behavioral control. That's everything they're doing to you. Okay?
That's everything they've done.
Satanic ritual abuse. Just remember those three. Satanic ritual abuse is deconstructed by the Christian music. Now, if you want to deconstruct their technology, go today to YouTube, type in Pastor David Wilkerson. Watch one of his sermons every day. Okay? Now, there are many others I can tell you about. I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to make it real simple. You start there. Watch his sermons every day. Okay? And you will depattern, deconstruct their technology. Pastor David Wilkerson. Okay. Nice talking to you, man.
Hey, Brian, are you taking off? You don't have to take off. I was kind of wondering if
your perps are on the call, the cognitive researchers are listening. You got chatterbots injecting into the conversation. They want me to stay on the phone. That's what they want me to do. So I'm not going to do that. But, you've learned today how effective mind control technologies are, and you need to get a set of headphones and start listening to pleasing Christian music. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, God bless you, Brian, for calling in, and call in again, sir. Take care.